Titus 2:12 says, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. There's a phrase in this verse that's easy to rush past, in this present world. God is not only preparing you for heaven, he's teaching you how to live right here, right now. Your Christianity is not supposed to sit on a shelf waiting for eternity. Your job matters, and your marriage matters, and your parenting matters, and your attitude matters, your testimony matters, your conversations matter, your private choices matter, what you do when nobody is watching matters. Paul says grace teaches us to live soberly, righteously, and godly. Soberly speaks of how you govern yourself. Righteously speaks of how you deal with other people. Godly speaks of how you walk before God. In other words, biblical Christianity reaches into your head, your home, your habits, your relationships, and your walk with God. And notice where we're supposed to do it, in this present world. Not when life gets easier, not when the kids grow up, not when you get a better job, not when you finally have more time. Now, the return of Christ is not an excuse to disengage from life. It's a reason for us to take life more seriously. If Jesus could come today, then today matters. The phone call you make matters. The temptation you refuse matters. The person you encourage, they matter. And that decision matters. The job you finish correctly matters. The time you spend with your family, it matters. The witness you give matters. You may never stand behind a pulpit, and you may never lead a massive ministry. You may never write a book, and you may never have thousands of people know your name. That does not make your life insignificant. Heaven does not measure importance the way the world does. God is looking for faithfulness today. There's a famous story from the early days of NASA. President Kennedy was touring the Space Center during the space race that we were having with the Soviet Union. We were racing to get a man on the moon. And as the story is told, Kennedy noticed a janitor who was thoroughly cleaning one spot on the floor, going over and over and over that one spot. And Kennedy asked the janitor what he was doing, and the janitor said, "Mr. President, I'm helping to put a man on the moon." He understood something powerful. He was not merely sweeping a floor. He was doing his part in a mission bigger than himself. That's how a Christian ought to look at an ordinary faithfulness every single day. You're not merely raising children. You are influencing another generation. You're not merely showing up for work. You are carrying the testimony of Jesus Christ into that workplace. You're not merely cleaning, cooking, serving, giving, praying, encouraging, or helping. When it is done for Christ, you are serving the King. The world may never applaud it, but God sees it. Grace does not remove responsibility. Grace teaches responsibility. Titus 2 does not teach that believers should escape the world and abandon ordinary duties. It teaches that we should live differently while we're in this world. Biblical separation is not hiding from responsibility. It's refusing the world's ungodliness while remaining faithful to the responsibilities God has given us. A Christian ought to be different, but he ought also to be dependable. Holiness should make you a better spouse, a better parent, a better worker, a better church member, a better neighbor, and a better faithful servant of Christ, right? If your Christianity only works inside a church building, it's not reaching far enough into your life. You do not need a bigger opportunity for God to use you. You do not need a title and recognition for God to use you. You don't need a crowd or somebody to finally notice how much you do. God sees faithfulness that nobody else notices. There are people doing seemingly ordinary things today who are making an eternal difference without realizing it. So do not despise the ordinary places God has put you. Your kitchen table matters. Your workplace matters. Your car ride with your children matters. Your conversation with a discouraged church member matters. Your quiet prayers, they matter. Your decision to do right when doing wrong would be easier. It matters. You may call it ordinary. God calls it faithfulness. Stop waiting for the life you wish you had before becoming faithful with the life God has already given you. Ask yourself whether you are honoring God in the responsibilities directly in front of you. Are you dependable when nobody is checking on you? Do you give God your best, or only when whatever energy you have left? Are you so focused on what you want God to give you next that you're neglecting what he has already given you now? Do not spend your life asking God for a bigger platform while ignoring the one underneath your feet. Be faithful where you are.